Right, I've got a longer cutting piece, so now I've got the length to cut the depth. So the first thing I'm going to do, down this end, there'll be a tongue in here where the neck meets the body, and then up there will be the headstock, and then it'll be the truss rod groove, and then I'll have to change the bit for a round nose bit, and then that'll do the finishing cut in the headstock. So let's get it going. Right, this is cutting the glue joint profile. Cut that first before I stick the fretboard wood in. Right, this is the glue tongue, which should join the neck to the body. And the next thing, I've got to cut a pocket here to take this face down. So it will, if you look at the body, that's the shape of the tongue, but where the pickup's going to go, the end of it needs to be taken down to that thickness. So then the pickup will be able to fit in there properly. Right, that's the neck joint end done. Next thing I'm going to do is do the rough cut for the headstock. Right, this is the rough cutting of the headstock. Right, that's the rough cut of the headstock. Before I change the bit, I'm going to do the truss rod groove. That's the truss rod slot done. Right, this is the finishing cut for the headstock. Right, that's the headstock at a finished cut there. That's lovely. Right, I'm just going to put the marker holes for the tuning pegs in. one. Right, that's the hole markers for the tuning pegs done. Right, the next thing I got to do is fit the truss rod. So the truss rod will fit in there. I've got to put a hole through there. That's the wrong way round. That big bit goes on the other end, and you've got the nut and the washer. So that'll go in there. Once I've got that hole through there, I've got to stick a piece of wood on the top of it, then flatten that off, and then stick the fretboard wood in, and then we'll be shaping it. So that's what I'll do, get the truss rod in and that. Right, I fitted the truss rod in. Now what I've got to do is cover that with a piece of wood. As you can see, if I push down in the middle, that goes in at a curve. So on the piece of wood I've cut to a curve, so when that gets bonded in there tight, that'll push the wood down to the curve. So now I've got to glue that wood in and then machine that bit off flat again before I stick the fretboard wood in. Machining that piece of wood flat on top of the truss rod. Now I've machined that down, I can now get on and fit the fretboard wood. I just got to sand the sides down so it'll fit in the slot a little bit more. It's nearly there. So I'm ready to glue that in now. You just see a slight curve there, can't you? You can probably see the curve a bit better now. Nearly finished. Right, that's the fingerboard carved. Right, on there now there'll be some binding going around, so I should do that groove next, and then it'll be the actual neck profile, the overall size, and a place for the nut. So I changed a bit. Right, this is cutting the slot for the binding. Right, that's the binding slot done. The next cut I'll do will be the neck profile. It'll cut it a little bit bigger, allowing for the binding round. Right, that's cutting the profile. As you can see, it's cutting a little bit bigger. That'll be the finished size of the neck. Right, so you can see that little shelf there. That'll be for the binding around the edge, and that's the overall width of the neck. So I've only gone to 16mm deep, because when we flip it over, the rest of it will be done on the underside. Next I'm going to do the place for the nut. Right, I have done the nut slot there. I might have to clean this piece of wood off later on, but that's nothing. Right, all there is left to do now is to do the fret markers and the fret slots. Right, I'm going to attempt to cut the fret slots. I've got a very fine bit in there. See what happens. I've slowed the feed rate right down. It's doing something. That's the first one cut. Last fret. Right, that's the frets done. Now I'm gonna do the fret markers. Clearing out the marker pockets. Last one. Right, starting to look like a guitar neck now. That's the front side of the guitar neck finished, bar of course for the frets and the fret markers. So now in the next videos I'll be taking this off, flipping it over, putting the pins in here so that it helps line up for the next side. Lovely.